Hello and welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop Streamed, your one stop for co-op news and playthroughs. And today I'm playing through Marvel Champions. I'm actually going to deck test my Black Widow deck. This was actually suggested by Steve over at Beat the Game last week. He said Black Widow protection does pretty well. So our challenge to ourselves for this coming Friday's stream, our normal Marvel Friday, is to beat the Collector, who really punishes you for having cards in play that go out of play, with two heroes that don't fare very well against that. So it was Black Widow and Thor. Thor because he wants to pull in a lot of enemies, and Black Widow because obviously she has all her preparations. And of course this also means we can't go with a ally heavy strategy either. So because of that, I'm just going to deck test today, starting with our good old friend Rhino on Expert, and seeing how this deck goes. So just as a reminder, because if it's been a while, Rhino's attacking the shield facility. He's trying to smash through the facility wall and steal a shipment of vibranium. You must stop him. And we start with breaking and taking. Rhino is breaking things and taking them. So it's going to be +1 card. And to be honest, I did protection here, but I'm not really sure how this deck's going to go. So we will see. We will see. I have not tested this at all so far, and I just kind of threw it together. Honestly, it looks a lot like my group protection deck, so that worries me a little bit, but we'll see how Black Widow fares with it. Alright, so she's gonna draw up. Ooh, Safe House is a very good card to get on turn 1. Oh, and Synthsuit is a ridiculously good card on turn 1. Everything else, if I don't have any preparations, which I don't, I'm just going to discard. Although, wait, Covert Ops, remove 4 threat from a scheme and confuse the villain is good, but not at this stage of the game for me. I really want to get the synth suit out. I mean, honestly, even if I don't get anything else out. Oh, Winter Soldier would be nice as well, but he's one that you really need some preparations in your hand for first. But that's okay. I actually have a couple of preparations, and Target Acquired seems to be a pretty good one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Winter Soldier. I mean, I just can't. 2, and, well, actually, hold on. I'm going to hold on to Winter Soldier. Which of these is a good desperation play? When a boost card is turned face up, discard it to cancel the boost action of the card and deal a damage to the villain for each one. That's really good with protection because that allows me to really why is my brain not functioning right now? That allows me to well, hold on, let me draw this hand back up. Sorry, that allows me to save myself, because a lot of these cards say if you're never damaged or whatever, if you take no damage from the attack, stun the enemy and that kind of thing. So that will protect me from that. But let me start with this acrobatics. I'm going to play Safe House. And then Safe House, if you're alter ego, which I am, exhausted, to choose a preparation card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. So just to get that right back. Alright, now that's looking a little bit better. Alright, after you play a preparation card, you draw a card. So I'm going to go ahead and spend Target Acquired to play Acrobatics. And again, I don't necessarily, because again, I'm thinking about Collector here, I don't necessarily think I'm going to play all these or use all these, but it's at least good to get them in play. So go ahead and draw up, and oh, looky there. Alright, so I'm going to play 1, 2, 3 to get my synth suit. Now, I don't know that I should play this like I'm playing Collector anyway. I do want to play it like I'm playing against Rhino, just to test the deck and then kind of see where it lands as far as how it's going to look. Oh, hey, Victor Von Doom's out there. Good old Rhino. Have played versus him so much. He's my daughter's favorite fight. Every once in a while, still surprises me and can win with some swingy scheming. You know, Rhino is one of those villains that it's going to go one way or another, and it's going to go that way pretty quickly, which is why I do a lot of deck testing against Rhino. It's just going to happen or it's not going to happen for Rhino. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 off of breaking and taking. And I love having this synth suit. So again, I'm going to see what I can do. Not totally thinking about playing versus Collector, although I'm going to see how I think this deck would fare against Collector. Alright, so I do get to draw up to a hand of 5 on this side. Ooh, I like to have energy. Oh, with Covert Ops. There you go. Now, unfortunately, does Covert Ops say main scheme? from a scheme. So taking 2 off of there wasn't necessarily great, but it's fine. It's fine. Ooh, Black Widow's Gauntlet. Again, I want to get these cards out of my deck because even in Collector, I know that it's not going to be a problem to have them on the table. So let's see how this goes. We're going to add 1 threat to the main scheme. We're going to have him attack me, and of course let me ready up. I am going to defend, so I defend for 2, plus 1 over here, that's 3. Desperate Defense. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets plus 2 defense for the attack. If you take no damage from the attack, ready your hero. Let's go ahead and do that. Or stun the attacking enemy. Or do I do both and just say forget it? Huh. That's something to think about, right? So that would be plus 4 to my defense. And I could stun and ready. That seems good. All right, I'm going to do that. And believe it or not, so Desperate Defense and never back down. So I'm defending for 4. He will attack. Well, I'm not defending for 4. I'm defending for 7. Let's go ahead and see how much he attacks for. Attacks for 5. But now I get to ready myself and I get to stun the enemy. I don't know that's the best move in the world because I'm, just have a Widow's Gauntlet here. But I mean, I took no damage, and I am going to have to take 2 cards, so we'll see how this goes, because I may have to defend again. Maybe I should have used 1 for the first defense, and, oh, well, actually, he's probably not going to attack again, being stunned. So, attached to Rhino. When Rhino attacks, the attack gets overkill, excess damage from the ally. All right, so this is plus 3, but it's going to go away as soon as that happens, and the villain attacks you. Okay, well, the villain doesn't actually attack me. He is stunned, but it at least gets rid of that stun. All right. So I'm going to thwart, get rid of the side scheme, and see where it goes from there. And that is it. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. I'm drawing my hand. I never thought my turn would be so fast. Oh, electrostatic armor's pretty good. Fighting Fit, deal 2 damage to the villain, 5 instead if your hero's remaining hit points are equal to or greater than their starting hit points, which currently it is, although after this attack that's not going to be the case. So I can get rid of that. But again, against Collector, I think that wouldn't be so bad. Hopefully get Dance of Death out and Gauntlet, but we'll see. All right, so we're going to add 1 threat to the main scheme. Rhino is going to attack me for 6. I am going to defend that 6. May end up using acrobatics here. Let's boost it. Nope, not going to use acrobatics because that's just 6. So 1, 2, 3. And that is it for their attack. Let's go ahead and look out. And we have a guard in play. Hydra Mercenary. While its minions engage with you, you cannot attack the villain. Alrighty. Well, Dance of Death will take care of that. And I also have Grappling Hook here. We'll see, because I can actually flip over and do Grappling Hook. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3. Oh, do I get rid of electrostatic armor? That's tough. In this fight, I think I do. Every time I defend, I deal damage to the attacker. I mean, or Widow's Gauntlet. You know what? I don't have as many preparations in this deck. I'm going to get rid of the Widow's Gauntlet. Plus, there's another one in the deck as well, I believe. So that pays for Dance of Death, which is an attack for 1, attack for 2, and attack for 3. So 1 goes on here, 2 go on here, and then 3, 1, 2, 3 go against Rhino. All right. So let's go ahead and I am going to I am going to flip. I am going to use my safe house, which lets me exhaust it and get a preparation card. It doesn't matter which one because I'm just going to spend it here to get this electrostatic armor down on the table. All right, and that's going to be that. Let's go ahead and ready up and let's see what the villain does. So they get 1 here. In fact, if they draw 3, I just immediately lose. Oh, when they attacked with this, that goes away. Let's go ahead and boost that. Oh, burn notice. All right, so, oh, no. I'm sorry, that's their boost. So they get 2 extra icons, which is a total of 3 here. 1, 2, 3. not looking great over there. Let's go ahead, and they are going to now not boost. This is going to be my card. Let's see what happens. This card gains Surge. Thank goodness. You know what? I'm just going to do it as a boost. Who cares? That way we can 4 threat on each side scheme. If there isn't one, go ahead and get a side scheme, which won't be great if it's Hazard. That'll be, in fact, very terrible. I did not draw my hand of cards back up. I'm just realizing he doesn't have a whole lot of side schemes, does he? There's a side scheme. Oh, and just what I was dreading. So it's 2 per player. It's got a crisis icon, and that is not good, which means I can't remove threat from the main scheme using a normal action. Let's go ahead and draw my 6 cards, though, because that could be it for me. All right, I do have an ally that I could play to get rid of that. After a hero defends against an attack and takes no damage, exhaust it to remove a threat from the main scheme. All right, that's good. I got Clea, and I've got 2 hard to ignores. Clea is, when Clea is defeated, shuffle her into her owner's deck. So Clea is in there because she will be great against Collector, because it won't be discarded. So that'll be good. And Nova, same thing. When an enemy initiates an attack against you, spend a lightning resource to deal 2 damage to that enemy. Again, not someone who is going to go into the deck. Now, because I'm working on a budget here, I am not going to be able to heal up, obviously. But, oh, I can do Safe House to get something out of my discards. So let's see. These are all going to be too expensive. Let's see if I have a 1-cost one I want to pull out. Or maybe I just pull Grappling Hook out for later. Acrobatics is pretty good for this protection deck. Let me go ahead and get a second Acrobatics out. I think that might be the move. Let's gather these up. Put them in my discard pile. All right, that just gives me a 7th card to work with. All right, I'm going to spend Strength over here to put in Clea. I am going to flip over. I am going to thwart myself to get rid of this crisis. Crowd control. And then Clea is going to thwart as well to make sure that I don't lose to the main scheme on this very next turn. So got a little lucky there, not drawing a 3-icon boost for his scheme action. But at the same time, I got a little unlucky as well, because it could have been a lot better for me as well. All right, we're gonna put up hard to ignore. We're gonna put up another hard to ignore. So what hard to ignore does, after a hero defeats or defends an attack and takes no damage, exhaust it to remove a threat from the main scheme. So I get 2 of these now. So that main scheme, even though it's up pretty high, I feel pretty confident, especially with an Acrobatics sitting here. Now, I don't have something that makes Acrobatics cheaper, but that's okay. Or lets me put it out for free, but that's okay. I'll just hold on to it, and I will draw 4 cards. Oh, another Dance of Death and a Grappling Hook. All right, so some decent stuff here, as well as target acquired, which isn't always a bad idea. So maybe I should have put that preparation out instead of my electrostatic armor. Maybe regretting that now. All right, so we're going to add 1 to the scheme. Then Rhino is going to attack me. Of course, I am going to defend that attack. So I defend for 3. He is attacking me for 3. Let's see how many boost icons. None. So I did defend all of it. So 2 hard to ignores. Removes 2 threat from the main scheme, which feels pretty good if I got to be honest. All right, so now I am going to... Oh, I don't ready myself. That is cheating. I'm going to do a lookout. See what my card is. The Villain Schemes. No! Villain Schemes for 1 plus 2 more. That would be 3. Okay. All right. So that didn't work out, but we're going to pretend it's only for 2 and see what would have happened if we keep going. Because I don't think that was necessarily my deck's fault. I think that was bad play on my part. I probably shouldn't have flipped a little while ago. I had plenty of stuff, including Acrobatics, to defend myself. I don't really know why I flipped. Oh, I was trying to use Safe House. I was trying to be clever here. Oh, Electrostatic Armor would have done 1 damage for my defended attack. And let's ready everything up. I keep trying to ready. I would not ready. All right, so I am... Wait. What's this say? When a boost card is turned face up, discard Acrobatics. Cancel the boost icons on that card. So wait a minute. So that's a boost card turned up for anything. So I don't even have to cheat here. I'm going to go ahead and only use 1 because that is his scheme, because it says Villain Schemes. I'm going to get rid of Acrobatics to cancel those 2 icons, doing that damage to him. So that will actually be 1, 2, 3 more damage to him. All right, so I don't even have to cheat to get away with this. Now, because of that, I also... oh, I did 3 damage, sorry. Because it's 2 from the icons and then 1 more because of Black Widow's power, Widowmaker. Then I have this. Whenever you play a card, exhaust this and ready Black Widow. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty nifty reason to keep acrobatics in play, and thankfully I have another acrobatics as well. I did not think about the fact that it could be used for any boost icons, not just when you're being attacked. It says when a boost card is turned face up. It doesn't say when you're being attacked. Discard it, cancel the boost icons, and deal that much damage. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so am I gonna do Dance of Death to do 6 damage, and then I could poke for 2 more myself? Although, you know what? We've seen what this can do, so let's focus on that right now. Maybe I hold on to Dance of Death and get out a couple of these other cards. So we'll go ahead and put out an acrobatics. And do I put out Grappling Hook? Grappling Hook is so good. Oh yeah, Villain Schemes, that was their card. Or I could use Grappling Hook to get out my target acquired. So let's do that. Let's put out target acquired. And now I got a little bit of everything. I'm going to hold on to Dance of Death. I'm going to ready up, and I'm going to draw back up to my hand size. Ooh, Widow's Bite is nice. But again, playing these preparations, I got to see how many preparations I go through, because I'm going through a few here. All right, so that's 1 over here. They're going to attack. I am, of course, going to defend. We will see. Give Rhino a tough status card. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's no extra icons. So I get to do 2 of these to remove 2 threat from a scheme. Now, this main scheme, from the main scheme only. Okay, so that's good to remember. It's not going to let me mess with other schemes. I do have Clea here in case he gets like another attack off at some point. So that's kind of why she's hanging out. When she's defeated, I get to shuffle her back in my deck. But for now, I'm liking to defend. And actually, I'm an idiot. I definitely would have played Desperate Defense had I been thinking at all. If you take no damage, ready your hero. Yeah, I definitely would have done that. That was pretty stupid. Are equal to or greater than your starting hit points, your hero gains Retaliate 1, which would be nice, but I have to heal up to get that. All right. All right, so that was his attack against me, and let's go ahead and see. Rhino deals 4, heals 4 damage if no damage was healed. All right, so he's healing 4 up to 12. Okay, I don't know why I didn't use Desperate Defenses there, but it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and use one of those Desperate Defenses to put in Dauntless. Now, it's not doing anything right now, but I still feel like that's a good one to have in. I'm going to get rid of Dance of Death to put in Widow's Bite. Dance of Death is one of my major damaging cards, so I'm a little worried that I'm not going to be able to do enough damage, but I am also about to reshuffle, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to go ahead and ready up. I need something that confuses them so I can flip. Oh, there's a Widow's Gauntlet. There's the last hard to ignore. There's Armored Vest. All those things are pretty good. All those things also cost 1, and I have a Genius, which doesn't really help as much with that. All right, but we're going to add 1 to the main scheme. He's going to attack me. I am, of course, going to defend. We're going to boost that, so that's 2 boosts. And, oh, thank goodness, there goes Shadows of the Past. I will discard Acrobatics. So, discarding Acrobatics means I take no damage, because that would have been 5 damage with the 2 extra, but I ignored both of those extra damage, and I send it right back. So that's actually going to do 1, 2, 3 damage back. I'm going to be able to exhaust this to ready myself, and I think that is all. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2 hard to ignores to remove 2 threat from the scheme. All right, so now I don't ready myself. Stop trying to ready myself. I'm going to take a event card. Oh, Bomb Scare. Here we go. All right, so this gets 2 on it. So it's actually good I'm readied because I can just thwart that myself. It's got an acceleration. Place an additional 1 threat per player here. So I won't be enough. I'll actually have to use Clea on this one if I want to totally defend it, which I probably will. When your hero defends against an attack. So you do have to be, if you take no damage, ready your hero. Okay. All right. So let's see how I want to play this out, because I do want to get rid of Bomb Scare. So I'm going to thwart it for 2, And then I'm going to have Clea thwart it for 1, which means she gets discarded. But my deck isn't that big anymore, so she's about to come right back, which isn't too bad on my next draw. So I'm going to try to keep this Genius, I think, to pay for it. We'll see how easy. Maybe I get rid of a Hard to Ignore and my Widow's Bite, which, gosh, it doesn't feel good. But at the same time, again, I don't have that many preparations in my deck. Alright, so that got rid of this side scheme here. Again, I'm not too worried about the main scheme. I am going to then play... maybe I get rid of this Desperate Defense. Although without a chumper, Desperate Defense feels a lot better. Alright, so I'm going to play my Widow's Gauntlet to put in my Armored Vest. So that gives me another armor. Oh, I keep forgetting my Electrostatic Armor. I did defend. That would mean 1 damage goes there. Alright, so do I want a Desperate Defense or another Hard to Ignore? I mean, the main threat's not that built up, but actually, Hard to Ignore would let me flip and not worry too much about it. Oh, here we go. Well, yeah, I don't need Desperate Defense if I'm flipping. Alright, so I'll put that Hard to Ignore in. I'm going to flip over. I'm going to use the Safe House to pull out one of my favorite cards, which is Grappling Hook, and I will pay my Genius to put Grappling Hook into play. Such a good card, such a versatile card. You discard it to cancel the effects of a Treachery card, which are like the worst cards in the game, it feels like. So that feels good. Now again, it is a hero interrupt, so I do have to be on my hero. In fact, all of these are hero. Well, these two aren't. But now I can heal up to get my Dauntless working as well. So because of Dauntless, I actually think I want to put hit point cards in here. I don't think I have that. Maybe I just haven't drawn it, but let's see what happens here. All right. So we are going to draw up to our hand size, which is now 6. Now, because of that, I got to get one of these. Yeah, I need to get the plus hit points to make Dauntless even more likely to happen. Oh, 2 Widow's Gauntlets. Interesting. And I could pay Widow's Bite because I can get it right back here. So that's not bad. Unflappable. That's one you're looking for. After you defend against an attack and take no damage, exhaust Unflappable to draw a card. So again, works real well in concert with my Hard to Ignores. But let's add 1 to the main scheme. Rhino is then going to scheme himself for 1 plus 1. So that's 2 on the main scheme. Then we're going to go ahead and draw another card and see what it says. All right, Steve with Beat the Game says, hey, bud. I'd build a deck for you for Collector. I playtested versus Expert Drang, never removing his spear. And the Space Pirates. Nice. Give Rhino tough status. If he already has tough, he doesn't. So let's go ahead and get a tough status on here. And again, I'm just testing this deck to see how I like it. It's a little lot like my Groot deck, so that might be a problem. I may need to rework it to be more Widow focused. I was worried about threat because if he's going Thor, I don't know how much threat removal we're gonna have, so that's why the Hard to Ignores are in there. It was hard for me to ignore them in building this deck. Oh, Steve says also no allies in that deck. Well, that's that's I have almost no allies. Again, Clea I think is really good against Collector because when she's defeated, you shuffle into your owner's deck. You don't discard it, and Collector specifically says when it's removed from play to discard pile, you do it. So Clea would actually stay there. Let's see, Starhawk. Why is he in there? Well, when he takes damage exactly equal to his remaining hit points, return him to your hand. So again, another ally that you're not discarding from the board. And then the only other ally I have in this deck we saw earlier was not meant to chump or do anything else. That ally, whenever they attack, you can use a lightning bolt to do 2 damage to the attacking enemy. I think that's Wiccan. So bottom line is, I have a lot of ways of doing stuff, but my allies aren't there necessary to chump for me. They're there to kind of stay alive or not work against Collector. All right, so Alter Ego, the card gains Surge. So you go away. Let's draw another one. Attached to Rhino. Force interrupt when any amount of damage would be dealt. Alright, so this takes 5 damage for him. He's tough. He's got this. So I think tough goes off first. Next time this character would take any amount of damage, discard this instead. Yeah, I think it goes there before it goes to armor. I don't know why these things. Alright, when any amount of damage would be dealt to Rhino, place it here instead. Then if there's at least 5 damage here, discard it. I think tough goes off first, and then to the Rhino suit. Steve's asking, did you put in the fighting fits? I think pits add honorary endurance and downtime. I do need downtime, and I do need the plus hit point card. I forget what that one's called. I do need that because of Dauntless, I really want to have my starting amount of hit points, and I haven't had that for most of the game. All right. So, but I think I'm done with all that. Let's see. Oh no, the card gained Surge. Did I draw the Surge? Yeah, I think I drew this. The first one gave him Tough, the second one gave him this. Yep, I got everything. Alright, so I am going to heal up to 9. Again, not the smartest thing to not have this, but let's see. I'm going to spend Widow's Bite to put in a Gauntlet. Then I'm going to use Safe House to redraw that Widow's Bite. I am going to use this to play Widow's Bite, which I got 1, but now I have 2 of, which lets me draw a card because I'm on Alter Ego side still. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to play Night Nurse to put Unflappable in. Lots of block all their damage stuff. And do I want Clea or do I want Starhawk? I think I want Starhawk. I think I want some extra damage. Clea's good, but my deck's pretty big right now, so putting her back in is not going to be the most useful. Getting him to my hand every couple of turns won't be too bad. Now, he's never going to chump for me, but for 2 attack, he's going to do 2 attack and a thwart, basically, every other turn. So now I'm going to flip, and I am going to attack with Starhawk. Oh, no. Actually, he's going to thwart. So that'll remove 1 threat from the main, and that will be that. I think I'm going to drop to my hand size of 5. I'm going to ready everything up, and we will get going. Steve from Beat the Game. If you haven't watched his playthroughs, you should. He says correct. Tough goes first. All right. So we're going to add 1 to the main scheme. We're going to have him attack me. So, oops. So that will add an acceleration token. Let's see if I have any defensive cards, because I should pay attention to that this time, which I don't. Do I have acrobatics down here? No, I don't. So this isn't great. So I'm hoping for a 1 or a 0 here to trigger all of these cards, basically, because I do have 4 defense right now. But that is still... Oh, he should be ready too. 4 defense, but that's still not enough to, and I don't have anything in here to help me with that. All right, so 4 defense. Hopefully I block it all. All right, so that is 1. So that's perfect. He attacks for 4. All right, so I get my Dauntless. Let's see what it says. While your hero's remaining hit points are equal to or greater than your starting hit points, your hero gains Retaliate 1. So that's Retaliate 1. That's going to do 1 damage. This says after you defend against an attack, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. I think those 2 add up, so it just gets rid of Tough, but I could be wrong. There may actually be 1 more damage there. Let me know if you know whether Electrostatic Armor and Dauntless would be separate forms of damage, which means I would actually get to do 1, I guess, to this Armored Rhino suit over here. Because that would be kind of cool. But I did block it all, so that's 3 hard to ignores. 1, 2, 3. That also lets me do Unflappable, which lets me draw a card, which feels pretty good right now. And then let's see what happens. So Steve says, I'll be sharing the Black Widow deck on Tuesday. Look for it. It's called Black Widow Super Fit. Sweet. Well, I might try that one out. If this one doesn't work out for me, maybe I'll just surprise Terrence, because Terrence doesn't typically expect me to build good decks. And to be honest, he has every right not to expect me to build good decks, because I don't always. So there is that. So I just defended their attack, though. Actually, I need to get this somehow on my board, so let's do that. And let's go ahead and draw their card. It's a treachery. Give Rhino the tough status card if he already has tough status. This card gains surge. I'll give him tough. That's fine. Put tough right back on there. Steve says that they are separate effects. Retaliate is a continuous effect. Yep. So then there would be 1 damage over here on this as well, since they are both separate forms of damage. I know I could have grappling hooked that, but let's be honest. There's way worse cards in this deck than than that tiny little than that add tough status. So I'm not too worried about that. Especially when Starhawk will be attacking this turn. That'll get rid of the tough. That's about it. Oh, I have Dance of Death. Never mind. That will take care of the tough on its own and get rid of the Armored Rhino suit. If Starhawk could do 2 damage, he can't in between. So that doesn't exactly work the way I want it to. Unfortunately, ooh, I could do that and remove the 4th threat from the scheme, which I don't need, and confuse the villain, though. Which doesn't make me sad to confuse the villain. Then I would flip over and who knows? The possibilities are endless at that point. All right. So I think I am going to do all of that, actually. Even if I don't use the confuse now, at some point I'm sure I'll want to flip down. All right. So let's do this one thing at a time. Starhawk is going to attack. So that gets rid of tough. Well, that doesn't feel good. No, Starhawk's not attacking yet. He's going to stay not attacky form right now. First thing I'll do is Dance of Death. All right, so that's 1, 2. And I already have a target acquired, so that's 3. So let's do Dance of Death. So that's 1 plinky damage to take that off. 2 plinky damage added here, and then 3 plinky damage added here, which is enough to get rid of the Armored Rhino suit. So that's that. Then we'll have Starhawk attack. She has 2 consequential damage to herself, so that's 3. I say her, but it's a him, obviously. When he takes damage exactly equaling the remaining hit points, return him to your hand. So I'm going to do that. So that is going to do 2 damage over here. And then Covert Ops. Maybe I hang on to Covert Ops. Alright, well, I'm definitely playing Starhawk. Let's do that. So now he can attack again, and that'll be 2 more damage. It's 1, 2 more. And for now, I think I'm going to sit on Covert Ops and Desperate Defense, because I'm going to need that Desperate Defense in a minute. So I'll ready up, and I will draw 3 more cards. Another Covert Ops. Awesome. Never back down. If you take no damage from the attack, stun the attacking enemy. So I think I'm going to do... Oh, I do have Fighting Fit in here. Deal 2 damage or 5 instead if your hit points... So that's real good also, although I don't have the resources to really pay for it. That's the problem with Fighting Fit right now. But let's go ahead and add 2 threat to the scheme because this acceleration token. We will have Rhino attack. I am going to defend. I am going to play Desperate Defense and Never Back Down. Getting rid of my Fighting Fit and Covert Ops. You know what? No. I'll keep my Fighting Fit. I will just get rid of Covert Ops. Both of the Covert Ops. So that's +4 to my defense, which will stun. So my defense is 8 now. So we will go ahead and boost his attack. Wait, why is this like this? Wait, why is... What? What is going on here? I don't know why those 2 were there. I am an idiot. That's why those 2 are there. All right, so let's boost their attack. So I have 8 defense. He's attacking for 3. I think it should be okay. Yes, +0. All right, so that's, again, going to trigger a lot of stuff. I ready myself. I stun Rhino. Then 3 hard to ignores removes all of that. Then I'm going to retaliate and Dauntless. So that's 2 damage there. Then I'm going to do this. Oh, wait a minute. I should have drawn up to my hand size. Oh, wait a minute. I only played 2 cards. Oh, no, I did play 4 cards. Wow. All right, that was a lot. So I draw 1 card. Another Fighting Fit. So, not great. Unfortunately, none of that's going to get played. But let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's draw the encounter card. Steve says, I love Hard to Ignore. It just made perfect defensive strategy. Amazing! And I agree with that. Rhino attacks. You know what? I don't want you to get rid of stunned. I am going to get rid of my grappling hook. Because that gets rid of a treachery card. I'm going to regret that, but to do 1 damage over there. I'm probably going to regret that decision because I love grappling hook. It's so good. It gets rid of so much bad stuff. I'm going to keep these 2 fighting fits, I think. So this is no. Here we go. So Black Widow is going to attack. Oh, you know what? No. Then I'm not doing that. I'll let that attack go through. We'll get that stunned. I don't need that 1 damage because I'm going to attack for 2. So that's where I'll be. I will leave that the way it is. No threat on the scheme. I'm going to attack for 2. Boom, boom. That pops Rhino. Let's advance him to stage 3. Comes in tough. And now doing 4 attack. And when revealed, he stuns each hero. Well, that doesn't make me happy. That actually... forgot about that part. So I'm stunned. So I was gonna, well, I'll show you what I was gonna do. I was gonna go ahead and use Starhawk to thwart for 1, which I'm gonna do still, which brings Starhawk right back to my hand. Can't thwart because there's no threat on the scheme. So never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna use that to then use the fighting fits to pay for Starhawk or to pay for a fighting fit. But no, none of that's gonna work because I can't thwart because there is no threat on the scheme. So let's not do that. So I think that means I'm just done and I'm going to draw 3 cards and hopefully get double resources. No, but I got another grappling hook. Wow. 3 fighting fits in my hand at the same time. And acrobatics, which is really, really good for what's going on here. Now the nice part is any of these an attack. Well, her ability is an attack, right? No. Response after you trigger a prep card, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So that's not an attack either. Are any of these attacks? Widow's Bite would be. So hopefully a minion comes out because that'll let me Widow's Bite. But I need to like plink an attack basically, a kind of wimpy attack to get rid of this thing. But anyway, let's put 2 threat back on the scheme. We are going to have them attack for 4. I am going to block all of that and hopefully more. Although again, I don't have a whole lot here. And I don't have an acrobatics out. So this is probably not going to block all of it. So I defend for 4. At least I'll block some of it. Unfortunately, that 1 damage does go through, which means I lose my retaliate. I believe that's correct. But I do plink back for 1 with electrostatic armor. I think that's how it goes. You had a better play. Thwart for 1, bring him back. Flip AE, replay. Yeah. No, you're definitely right. I should have thwarted first and then brought him back and played him right back to the table again. Absolutely right. I did that out of order, and I'm going to pay for my mistake on this, but that's okay. It did take me off a Dauntless, though, which also makes me sad because I could not block that 1 damage. And Fighting Fit now just got a whole lot worse. Again, that's why you need the hit point boost, because if you're 3 above your normal hit points, then the odds of you going down below is very low comparatively. Right now, any little plink that gets through takes me off. So that's a mistake, not getting the plus hit point card. That it will definitely be an addition to my deck. But hey, that's why we do deck testing. This is my first time playing with this deck. I'm going to learn what I like and what I don't like about it and make changes in the future. So yeah, I definitely need probably the one that gives me +2 to my recovery stat and my hit point 1. And that way, when I flip down, I'm really getting a lot of stuff done. All right. But, so none of these trigger either because of that, unfortunately. So maybe even more defensive events. I don't know what I could take out. It'll be interesting to see. Or maybe I do 2 ofs instead of 3 ofs, just so my deck's not, 45 cards or whatever. All right. But that is that. I am done with my stuff. He just attacked me, so we're going to go ahead and draw a card. When revealed, you are confused. If you're already confused, this card gains Surge. I will be confused. I'm stunned and confused. Now again, this is not a thwart event, so I can still do these no problem. I don't mind the confused as much as I mind the stunned, that is for sure. So let's go ahead. I don't ready up. We've got Starhawk here, who will go ahead and thwart now. Come back to my hand, take one of those threat off the scheme, and I think these fighting fits are just going to be used to pay for stuff at this point. So I'm going to use my gauntlet to put acrobatics in. I'm going to use 2 fighting fits to put Starhawk in. And I might get rid of this fighting fit too, because I don't know that I'm going to get 1 hit point back. I mean, I guess if Night Nurse comes out, but that's a whole lot to ask for. So I think I'm happy with things the way they are. Acrobatics is great for this deck because, again, anytime you can ignore those icons to make sure all this stuff triggers, seems pretty good. All right, so that is that. Oh, no, I got Starhawk here. Starhawk will hit for 2, because why wouldn't he? Boom, boom, boom. Let me see you say, ow. All right, so that's all done. I will ready up. I will get rid of Fighting Fit. And I will draw 4 cards. Ooh, Dance of Death. So the nice part about Dance of Death is you make 3 attacks in order. So the first attack is 1. That will get rid of my stunned. Then I still get the 2 and the 3 attack off, which feels pretty good. Nova's the one. When an enemy initiates attack against you, you spend a lightning resource to deal 2 damage to that enemy. Nova's actually really good for this deck, as you can see, because he will never have to chump. He'll never have to do anything. He can do 4 damage with his attacks, and then I can just keep discarding lightning bolt cards to do damage every time they attack me. So Nova feels pretty good for this deck too. Again, meant to go against Collector. So, meant to go against Collector, so so I don't want any of my cards leaving the table as much as possible. Black Widow wants to flip almost every turn. You're denying yourself a lot of resource and card advantage. Yeah, that's true. I just feel like against, well, I mean, you're right. It's not a big deal because I have 3 hard to ignores, but I just feel 1 advance loses you the game. But you're right. I should be flipping more with Widow. So something certainly to think about. But let's go ahead and add 2 to the scheme. And let's boost his attack. I am going to defend. So I'm defending for 4. I am going to play Never Back Down, which gives me +2 defense and take no damage. Or if I take no damage, he gets stunned. So let's see, that's +1. So I definitely take no damage. So he definitely gets stunned. Boink. All right, yeah, that's for my retaliate. Not my retaliate. This one, electrostatic armor. All right, that's 1, 2, 3. Threat removed. 1, 2, 3. And then I get to draw a card, which is Winter Soldier, which I will be able to play for free. So Winter Soldier is my only ally that is literally meant to leave play. The rest of them come back to my hand. Terrence is on. Is this a preview for Friday? Well, it's a first attempt at my deck for Friday. So yes, as you can see, I got a lot of stuff in play and not a lot of it's leaving play. So we'll see how it turns out. All right, so he's stunned now. Let's go ahead and, oops, what is this acrobatics? Oh, yeah, this is in play as well. I was like, what is this acrobatics doing here? All right, so let's go ahead and draw a card, see what happens. Hard to keep down. He heals 4 damage. Yeah. Prolonging or delaying the inevitable here. All right, so it is back to my turn. I am not ready at all, but let's go ahead and put Winter Soldier in for free, because why not? Oh, I see why not, because I have Dance of Death. You know what? I'm going to do Dance of Death. Sorry, Winter Soldier. This is my preparing for Collector moment right here. Wait, why is he exhausted? Because he doesn't unexhaust up here. This is my preparing for Collector moment. Oh, actually, no. That's stupid. I'm not going to do that. First things first, hold on. Draw my cards back up to my hand. All right. So I had these 4 cards. First things first. I'm going to do Starhawk here and thwart for 1. draw Starhawk back to my hand. Oh, there's no thwarting to be done. Well, never mind. That is terrible. So I didn't have to do all 3 hard to ignores, I guess. So I can retroactively say I didn't do that, so I could bring Starhawk to my hand. Nah, we're not going to cheat. We'll just stick with what it is. I was going to use Starhawk to pay for Dance of Death instead of Winter Soldier, but that's fine. I'll just keep Starhawk in play. I will do what I was going to do, pay 3 for Dance of Death. So my first one gets rid of my stunned. Then I do a 2 attack and then a 3 attack. And that is done. All right. Now, Steve would tell me to flip down. I got no threat on the scheme. I got all this stuff. All right, I'm doing it. Flipping down. That will let me use Safe House to draw a card. What will that benefit me? It won't benefit me at all. So I'm not going to do it this turn. I'll do it next turn. All right. So let's go ahead and draw a 6, which I don't have. So I'm going to get an extra card. That's 1 more. Boom. All right. So 1-2 threat on the scheme. Then he schemes for 1. Plus 1 is 2. Boom, boom. Now I will go ahead and draw this. Bomb Scare. So that's an acceleration token. It's going to get 3 on it. Oh, and then this gets 3 on it as well. Breaking and taking. All right. I think I'm just going to kill him. I mean, if I can. That's the point, right? So, Steve, here was my thought on not flipping in general. So, number 1 is, well, especially now he's stunned, right? So, flipping only hurts me here. I'm going to get 6 cards 99% of the time anyway because of Unflappable. Actually, why didn't I ready up? Because of Unflappable. So I'm going to get that 6 cards, so there's no card lost except for the Safe House card. But again, especially if I'm playing Collector, I'm going to just keep this stuff face up in front of me anyway. So I'm not going to have stuff. And in fact, in this situation, because I don't have a lot of preps in my deck, Safe House isn't really helping me. So there's no real card advantage there. If I had blocked that all, then I wouldn't have had to do that. So that's kind of my thought with not flipping a lot of times. Because actually, again, in this situation specifically, I wasted these Desperate Defense as well and never back down. I really don't have anything to do. Planetary Control, I guess I get to get Nerves of Steel out. That helps me pay for defensive events, which is great. All right, so we'll do that. We'll get Nerves of Steel out. But Safe House isn't even useful because I don't have even a discard pile. Now I can heal back up. Let's do that for fun. So that gets me to 9, so Dauntless works again. Now I'm going to flip over, and it's going to thwart for 1, which comes right back into my hand. So let's take 1 off of that. Actually, this is stupid. I got to get rid of this thing. I got to get rid of Breaking and Taken, I think. All right, so I'm going to thwart for 1 from Breaking and Taken, and instead of healing myself, I'm going to thwart for 2 here. Terrence would be very mad at me for not getting rid of the hazard icon, so I'm going to do that. So now I got Starhawk back in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and play Starhawk for my double resource here, and Starhawk is going to, let's go ahead and thwart 1 off of the main scheme. Actually, if I attack for 2 now, I mean, because the main scheme's not going to pop. So if I attack for 2 now, and then I have to attack for 2 next turn, it'll be fine. So I'm going to attack for 2 now, and that way I'm more likely to defeat them on the next turn. I got my double Desperate Defense, my Never Back Down. I really don't need a double, so I'm going to get rid of that to draw up 4 cards and say good day. I see a lot of chat going on up there. Oops, I don't draw 4 cards. I don't get Nova. We'll shuffle Nova back in the deck. I get 3 cards. There's a couple Fighting Fits, which also would have been good had I healed myself. So, yeah. I need to figure out a way to get some healing in there. Or like I said, I really need that +3 hit point card. Because 1 down with my +3 hit points still would have put me over my starting. So that would make Fighting Fits work, and it would make Dauntless work. So yeah, that's a huge mistake, not having a plus hit point card in here. But again, first attempt at this deck. All right, so let's see. Terrence and Steve are talking quite a bit in here. How's your deck coming? Terrence says it's going okay. Been debating a few aspects. And then Omicron's on here too. Omicron says, I'm just looked up Starhawk's biography in the comics. My head exploded. Wasteland Sniper says, now I have to look it up. Omicron says, ooh boy, the 70s were a hell of a time. So yeah, I don't know much about Starhawk, but yeah, he's in my deck because again, he just keeps coming back to my hand, which feels good. All right, so I think I am readying everything up, and I'm going to go pass it to the villain's turn because I already drew back up. Yep, so let's ready everything up. Pass to the villain's turn. 1-2, tries to attack but can't because stunned. Oh, which gets rid of all of my benefits here. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe he draws something that says attack the villain, and each minion attacks you. That worked out well. All right, so I am going to defend. So I defend for 4, and then I am going to, well, these fighting fits, not great. Well, I still might need that 2 damage. Well, let's do this. Nerves of Steel, certainly desperate defense. Then I'm going to pay target acquired to never back down. So that's plus 4 defense, so I'm up to 8 defense, which I don't think he's beaten today. Of course, he gets nothing. So that's, I ready myself, and I stun him. All right, and now I got fighting fits in my hand, which I can't pay for. Oh, yes, I will, because I play Unfathomable to get that Covert Ops back in my hand, which is great. 3 hard to ignores, removes 1, 2, 3, has to be from the main scheme. And that is that. So I guess it is back to my turn. Did I draw a card? No, I didn't. Let's go ahead and draw this. One revealed. If Bomb Scare is in play, assign X damage among heroes and allies, where X is the amount of threat on Bomb Scare. If Bomb Scare is not in play, this card gains Surge. Is Bomb Scare in play? It sure is, so 3 damage is going to get divided. I will take all of it, because it doesn't matter at this point. And, yeah, we're going to go for the knockout blow, hopefully. Now I can only do 6 damage. Oh. Don't forget electrostatic armor. That's 1 damage when he attacked me. And I think I've been forgetting that quite a bit this game. But that's fine. You guys know me. I tend to play fast and loose when I'm playing solo especially. So, yeah, that happened. I mean, I could be triggering these things also to be plinking damage at him. Maybe I'll do that. Covert Ops, remove 4 threat and flip. Nah. Unless I want to get rid of Bomb Scare, but I don't really care about Bomb Scare. I am going to just attack for 2, thwart for 1. You come back to my hand. That's 2 on the attacking front. I'm going to go ahead and use my 2 fighting fits. Nah, I'll save one of them to bring Starhawk back out. That's going to be 2 more damage. All right. So, yeah, I'll discard Fighting Fit. I'd rather draw into something better. So, there's 5 cards. There's another Fighting Fit. I got to Never Back Down, which is fine. And Dance of Death. Oh, 2 Dance of Deaths, which seems good. Seems real good at this point. Starhawk does ready as well. 2 chump for me if I need, but I haven't lost one of these allies, and I barely use my preparations this game. So that's what this deck is supposed to be doing. So it seems to be doing that well. So that's good. That makes me happy. All right, so we got 1, 2 here. Then they are going to attack me, but not because they're stunned. Now Rhino is going to do this. The villain attacks you. Oh no, don't attack me. I'm going to defend and never back down. Plus 2 defense using my Nerves of Steel. When you defend against attack, you get plus 2 defense for this attack. If you take no damage, stun the attacking enemy. Sure. So I have 6 defense against their 4 attack. And that is enough. But you know what? It's not enough. This is go time right here. So I am going to use Acrobatics. When it's flipped up, discard Acrobatics, cancel the boost icons on that card, deal 1 damage to the villain for each boost icon. So we're going to do that. So that's going to be 2 plus Black Widow's Bite. So 1, 2, 3. And I get to exhaust my synth suit to ready myself. And that will be that for in more than one way. So since I blocked all the damage too, I'm going to remove 3 threat. 1, 2, 3. And I am going to draw a card. Boom. Ah, there's Night Nurse. Of course, once I take the damage, Night Nurse comes to save me. She's really there to save me from stuns and confused, but certainly plinking back that 1 damage to make Dauntless and things like that work is pretty cool. All right, well, we know what's happening here. 1, 2, 3. 4, Dance of Death, and I'm going to Dance of Death all over his head for lots of damage. Starhawk could have damaged more. I could have damaged more. Lots of fun stuff coming up. So that is my deck testing for this one. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you all to my deck and see what, because I know there's a lot of people in the audience that have lots of good opinions about stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and take you to my deck and let's see what your opinions are, and let's talk about some things that I could add or subtract from my deck. So let's go ahead and read. Let's see. Terrence says momentum shift could be okay for healing. Thor Ever Vigilant deck. Steve says, all right. Let's see. Wasteland Sniper Omicron. Just a short blurb on the Marvel Encyclopedia is enough to tell me you are not joking. Omicron says, yeah, he sure is something. All right. So now everybody's going to have to look that up. I'm not going to look it up in case it's not something for public consumption. But let's go ahead and edit this deck and see what we can come up with. So first of all, I have 41 cards. I don't mind doing that, especially when deck testing. But let's see. So some basic things I want to add for sure. At least one basic thing I want to add is I'm going to add both downtime and endurance. Endurance for sure. Downtime probably, although I'm not getting that hurt. So I'm not sure that I need downtime yet. Although, let's be honest, I did start with my synth suit on turn 1. So that's something to keep in mind. Anything else you guys would add or subtract from what you saw so far? Let's see. So we got Clea again, great for collector because you just shuffle her in your deck. Nova's great because he's never going to block. He's just going to be used for dealing 2 damage to anybody attacking me. Starhawk again is great because again never going to defend, but when they take damage equal to his life, he comes right back into my hand. So again, none of these cards get thrown away when using them. Nova's the only one, but Nova's never going to die. Winter Soldier, of course, I don't have a choice, but it's a free play. So paying 2 resources for a 4 health 2 attack 2 thwart card is probably worth it. So, and I don't have to pay 2 resources till after he's already been killed. So, I mean, he'll come in, even if he just does that 6 attack, through over 3 turns and never chumps for me, I think that'll be fine. So that's some extra damage. Of course, I don't have choice for Covert Ops, Dance of Death. So here are my events. I got 3 Desperate Defense, 3 Fighting Fits, and 3 Never Back Downs. The Fighting Fits didn't work, but again, it would have been better had I had more health. So Energy, Genius, and Strength, of course. Safe House, I don't have a choice. Night Nurse, I think is good to get rid of stuns and confused, although I don't care that much. So the 1 healing might not be worth it. So Night Nurse might be something I could toss. Armored Vest, of course, I want to keep. +1 armor. Acrobatics, I don't have a choice. Gauntlet, I don't have a choice. Dauntless, this is the one where if I am full health, I'll be doing 1 damage retaliate every time. So that's good if I can make it work. Of course, having endurance now. So that makes that way better. And it also makes those fighting fits way better as well. Electrostatic armor I think is good because I'm defending so much, obviously. Grappling hook, I mean, I don't have a choice. Hard to ignore. So endurance I like, but I'm not sure. Oh, I didn't add in, did I? Oh, I did add in downtime. So I'm still not sure of that. Hard to ignore after you defend against an attack. And take no damage, remove a threat from the main scheme. I mean, that's obviously, as you can see today, that was so good. And they're super cheap too. It's 1 cost for them. Nerves of Steel, I think I'm keeping that in. That helps me pay for my Desperate Defense and Never Back Down. Let's see. 2 target acquireds. I guess that could go down to 1. The only reason I put 2 in is because, well, first of all, maybe not good at all against Collector. So maybe I take those out. But those star abilities, man, they can be brutal. And having 2 kind of guarantees I'm always going to have 1 coming in, even early in the game. So I don't have to wait for it later in the game. Because getting those out early and often can be important. Unflappable. Let's see, after you defend against an attack and take no damage, of course I want to keep that in, and Widow's Bite I don't have choices on. So yeah, anything you guys think. I'm up to 43 cards now. Clearly I can remove some of these, like maybe I remove a Fighting Fit or something else. So what are your guys' thoughts? Anything you think I should add? Anything you think I should take away? Let's see. Steve says Ghost and Star Sharks. You will take damage. Oh, you must be talking about against a different one. Oh, that's Drang. Or no, who has those Star Sharks? Those things are a pain in the butt because they definitely do indirect damage, which means you can't chump it. And I think when they come in, they attack right away too. So yeah, that's kind of brutal. So again, any thoughts on what I should keep in, what I should take out? I think I'm going to start. I really don't think I need downtime. I can't imagine needing to heal for 5. So I'm going to take out downtime. I think is one of them. Maybe take out Night Nurse. I mean, certainly against Collector, I'm not going to need Night Nurse. So maybe I just take out Night Nurse in general. Oh, Steve's saying Collector has Ghost and Star Sharks. It's Collector 1 we're talking about, not Collector 2. The first Collector, the one where they have the collection. I don't think there were Star Sharks in that one. They did have somebody that attacked right away, though, when they came in. So there may be some. So I'm wondering, instead of Night Nurse, do I put in a med team? It's just so expensive. 3 is just... It's a lot without power protections. So for now, I'm going to leave none of that. But Night Nurse might be a nice add back in. And for now, I'm going to drop my target acquireds down to 1 also. So that gets me exactly at 40. We'll see how that goes. If anybody has, again, any other suggestions for what to add or remove from here, let me know. But for now, I think I'm going to save it this way and see how it works and kind of go from here. Oh, Steve says it's the same modulars for both. Why don't I remember seeing a Star Shark? Maybe we just got lucky the other day when we were playing. I know all those Space Pirates. Or no. Were Space Pirates in there? I'm sorry. We've played so much Galaxy's Most Wanted lately. I might be confusing things. Actually, no. Nebula's the one with Space Pirates. So, yeah, it must be Collector that has that shark. I forgot about that. We just didn't get it last week when we played, I guess. So, I forgot all about it. Doesn't mean it's not in the deck, though. So, yeah. So, I will be taking damage. Yeah, so it's worth thinking about adding in some kind of healing or maybe downtime. I mean, if I do that, do I get rid of a Fighting Fit? All right, so let's do that. Let me put downtime in and get rid of Fighting Fit. And let me know what you guys think about So we put in downtime, get rid of Fighting Fit. And let me know what you think about Night Nurse or Med Team. I don't think I can afford them. Let's see. There goes downtime. Protection. I don't need all the Fighting Fits. 2 should be enough. Try it versus Collector and see practice. Yeah, I think that's what I got to do. But I think this is good for tonight. Honestly, it's started late. I started late. I wasn't even planning on doing this. I just had some free time, so I was like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. But I think for now, that's going to be good. My deck has 42 cards, no allies. Yeah, so, I mean, that's the other thing. What is everybody's thoughts on 40 cards? Terrence and I debated this the other day. 40 cards versus having more cards. I understand the benefit of getting what you want more often, especially those hero-specific cards. You'll get them more often with a smaller deck. But I also think sometimes having some extra cards isn't so bad because it takes longer to go through your deck, which again takes longer to get to your hero cards again. But it also means that you don't have to get a extra event card as often either. So Steve said he dropped the desperate defenses for side steps. Let's see what that would look like. So desperate defense, +2 defense, and you get to ready your hero, which, I mean, 2/2 isn't the best thing in the world. So let's remind myself what sidestep is. Probably missed it. You guys are probably like, it's right there, but I'm not seeing it. Sidestep. Here we go. All right. When you take any amount of damage, prevent 3 of that damage. If you paid for it using a lightning resource, deal 1 damage to the enemy. So that's good for extra damage. It's still 1 cost. So you're doing 1 damage to the enemy. It gives you a little bit more defense, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But it doesn't allow you to ready. Honestly, I'm going to keep in desperate defense. I like the flexibility of... Now, I know the +3 is better because it's more likely to trigger all my other cards. So that's something to keep in mind. But I like the flexibility of readying myself to get that either 2 attack or 2 thwart, depending on where I need it. But it's something to think about anyway. It's damage mitigation and damage if played with lightning, right? Yeah, I mean, it's something to think about. 1 extra defense isn't something to scoff at, because that 1 damage, as we saw, not only took me off of getting my retaliate and all that stuff and make those fighting fits less useful, but it also doesn't let me trigger all my cards. So 1 extra defense is certainly good. So it's something I'll have to think about. It's definitely something to try. But for now, I'm going to leave it as desperate defense. But all right. I think I'm going to call it a night with that. But thank you all for joining me on this, playtest. You guys know I love Black Widow. She is my favorite hero. Even with everything else that's come out, I really like her, ironically, and Hawkeye are the two. Then they're, I think, both 9 health heroes. Steve says your suit readies you. But against Collector, I'm hoping not to play too many preps. Because that's how we've really been struggling with Collector, is putting those cards from play into the collection. So in order to use a prep card, I have to put it to the collection. So I'm not, as you saw that game, I didn't really use my suit often. You're right, it's because I was readied a lot of times. But I was trying not to use my preparations as much, just to see how it felt to have a lot of them there. The preparations in this deck are really going to be again, against Collector specifically, they're really going to be there to see, like, almost as a oh crap. Like that one time I was about to lose to an advance card, and I played the acrobatics to save myself. That's the intent in this deck of the prep cards, is first of all to thin my deck so I can get back to those attack cards more often, but secondly to be there as a oh crap, we're going to lose the game if we don't play this. Okay, it's worth putting in the collection for. So some things to think about, although acrobatics I will probably use more, just because acrobatics is so good with this deck, as you pointed out. And I think in a normal deck against a normal villain, like with Rhino today, I think doing things like acrobatics every turn to ready yourself and then flipping, as you were saying earlier, is really good, because then you block all the damage with all those hard to ignores. You're taking down the threat, so that shouldn't be an issue. And also, you can use your safe house to bring the acrobatics back into your hand and keep getting them back into play. So I think against a normal villain, that's going to be good. But specifically in this game, I'm trying to prepare for a collector. So I'm really trying to use my preparations as little as possible while still making sure that I've got them there in case desperate times. So, yeah, Steve says I get it. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I may tweak it a little bit before Friday, but I wanted to get some games in tonight. I figured I'd stream it for everybody. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly had fun. Great talking to you all, and I will see you on Tuesday night. I am streaming Adventure Tactics, which is on Kickstarter now. I don't think they have any of the updated stuff on their official mod, but I love that game, and I want to show you why. So join me. It's tactical combat and one of the coolest leveling systems I've ever seen in a game. So playing that Tuesday night. I don't know if I'm going to have somebody else with me yet or if I'm playing it solo, but either way, we should have a fun time. So hopefully you can join me then. Anyway, I will see you soon, and bye!